Washington had Carson. They thought Carson was better than Taylor Heineke. That's all I need to know. To bet against man.
I don't know why these odd makers are giving the Bucks these big ass fucking spreads like they didn't lose that fat ass spread last week.
The Jets are a charade. They are fake. Is Brian Flores gonna try and kill Tua? Does he not fuck with Tua that much that we gotta look out for some bounty shit?
Sounds like you can make a lot of money off this game. That's what I mean.
I got a problem with being problematic. Get the light beam on me, ready for electrostatic. Don't you step into this box if you're not batting. Then my gang got tools, you can call them boy crap. Man, this gang got rules, man, you better watch your passes. This ain't not new.
What's going on? Welcome to Totally Blitz Podcast. Today we talk NFL Week 7. We're going to break it all down, talk all that shit. Before we get into it, as always, go down, like, and subscribe. I didn't even tell you, Kev, but we hit 100 subscribers. Shout out everyone that's along the way. It's been a long time coming. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here the whole ride, I appreciate it. But let's get into it. I'm Paul. Pick 'em, win 'em, Concha. Got my Dolphin shot glass poured up because we're on prime time this weekend. And who's with me?
Hey, man, you already know it's your boy Kev, Waterboy, it's your boy, a.k.a. the Don PYE, also known as that motherfucker on your screen, man. And shout out to 100 subscribers, man. Niggas been working, man. We've been doing this since last season, and we're getting better, man. We got the live stream coming this weekend with comedian Romeo Max. So, like, we always doing
2
something.
p.m. Eastern time.
Make sure you're checking us out, man. If you subscribe to it, bro, we fuck with you, bro. I'll tell you right now, we fuck with you. You watch these episodes, I fuck with you. Paul might not tell you, but he fuck with you too. So shout y'all out, man. But enough of all that bullshit. Off to week 7, correct? Is we in week 7 though?
Yes, we in week. It's crazy.
This is my week off from football. Technically, it's not my week off. I'm watching all this shit, but I haven't been going crazy deep into everything because, like, I feel like we're kind of at a point now where some teams kind of showing us their true identities, like. But
we know what we got now.
No cap. So it's gonna be interesting. So I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't even watch the Thursday game yesterday, but
you missed it.
I've heard that shit went down, man. So Paul, man, give us a quick recap on the Thursday night football game last night.
We both said it. We kind of, I probably because how bad of a taste Thursday night football gave us the last couple of weeks, we kind of undersold it. But we both were saying this is gonna be like, we're gonna see some offense for once. We're gonna see some points scored, and then boys definitely did that. 42-34, Cardinals won. And I can't, like, D-Hop 10 catches over 100 yards. I told y'all hammer it, like, to take that shit all the way. Like, they're gonna get him involved. Cardinals look good. The Saints look good. I mean, there was just that one moment, 2 minutes before halftime happens, and Andy Dalton throws those back-to-back pick sixes, and then the game is like 28-14 or something going into halftime, and then it was like catch-up ball from there, and the Saints just couldn't catch. They caught up good, 34-42. They put up points, but it's just like that. Like, there's those 2 plays killed them. Like, those when they be taking, like, you can't take any play off. Like, that's what they're talking about. Like, literally 2 plays is what settled the game, in my opinion. Like, both offenses look pretty good. Eno Benjamin actually looked good for the Cardinals looked like they had a good running game going. Saints defense still is looking terrible. Like, we know them as good defensive teams, and I think we kind of got to take that. We can't keep banking on their defense anymore. Like, it's dead. But Cardinals get a win, and as always, tried and true, I picked against them, and they won, like they always do.
Not consistently. So hey, man, the Cardinals. Even the Cardinals have had beef since last week. But did Robbie Anderson play at all?
He got some snaps. I'm not sure. I could double check if he got any catches. I know he played. I saw him on the field a couple of. The announcers made sure when he got on the field, like, there's Robbie Anderson, former Panther. No catches, but 1 target. I think they kind of rushed it because it was already a short week, and they got him on Monday. Like, he probably only played like a handful of snaps, but we'll probably see him more involved next week.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. So Kyler Murray, from seeing the highlights, I seen Kyler Murray made a couple cool plays, but
football plays, or was he snapping on Call of Duty after?
Hey, man, so I'm so upset I missed this game, but looks like it was intriguing. We gotta look. and I'm definitely gonna have more highlights on it. But we got breaking news in the NFL right now. CMC to the 49ers.
for a
Everybody,
handful of draft picks.
okay, I think if you didn't capitalize on CMC right now, you either like just scared of the injury proneness or like the Panthers are asking for way too much. But this is a great pickup for the 49ers. Losing Elijah Mitchell, being a team that's having trouble scoring, and then probably taking a load of pressure off of Jimmy G. CMC might be what they need, especially to complement Debo.
Could you
CMC might
imagine Jimmy G in the pocket, into his right, Debo into his left, like right there, like gun style is fucking CMC. And the plays Shanahan's gonna have cooked up for that.
that's dangerous. I think it's after losing to the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? Them boys is like, oh, we got to figure something out.
Put it on him.
I'm telling you, they was like, damn, having the number one defense doesn't matter if the number one defense pulls up on us.
And I think this week also Trent Williams. We'll get on to the Chiefs game, but Trent Williams is coming back. Jimmy Ward, who broke a finger or something like 2 weeks ago, is coming back to practice. Like Nick Bosa's practicing again, looking healthy again. So we'll hit on that more when we get to that game.
That's gonna be a good one, man. But hey, let's get into week 7, man. What game you want to talk first, man?
First game on the slate, I'm looking right now going down. Bengals at home, favored by 6.5 over the Falcons.
6.5.
6.5. Falcons are still undefeated against the spread. Has covered every spread that they put in front of them. Ooh, Bengals. I mean, the only thing that I will point out before we make I know who you're rocking with, but one thing I will point out is the Falcons. Low key, we love them, but they have the second worst pass defense, letting up 281 yards. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. I'm riding with the Bengals because of that. Just because, like, I think y'all get pressure on Burrow, probably get an interception, make it kind of close. I think y'all cover 6.5, but I just think the Bengals get the dub here at home with the crowd going crazy.
This is not a good team. The Bengals are not a great team, and I picked Joe Burrow to win the MVP of the season. I don't know why. Knowing I like Josh Allen, but I picked Joe Burrow. This is not a great team in my opinion. I think this team is adequate. I think this team also started off slow last season, so they might pick it back up. That might be something they do and pick it up. But this isn't a great team, so 6.5 is kind of crazy. I think the 49ers are a way better team than them. And it was only a 5.5 game. So 6.5 is insane to me. Maybe it's because we don't play a lot, but that's insane. So definitely taking my Falcons, but I feel like and I think the thing about it is it's not that we're going to get pressure because I feel like Joe Burrow is used to getting pressured and getting like 4 sacks and still coming out with a win. So I think that's not the biggest thing we really got to worry about. It's just like staying the consistency on offense, and if they fire, we're gonna fire back. Like and not letting there be a fat ass gap, and we're kind of playing catch up. I think we just stay consistent, stay firing, keep the ball going to Caleb Huntley, who was looking pretty decent last week, and Mariota, who looks great over the air last week. I mean, not over the air too much, but he was hitting his receivers when they needed to get hit. That's what's going to be the difference. If our offense can keep up with this offense and just be like a 35, 34, or 28, 34 game type shit, that'd be lit.
Yeah, I see the Falcons getting an interception and everything, but also I just see the Bengals maybe coming out to like a 17-3 lead by halftime.
That's wild.
And the Falcons they don't have like Mariota's throwing like what 14 and 12 passes back-to-back weeks or something. Like he's just not throwing the ball. Why? Because the run game's working, the defense is balling. And I don't know what to expect if the Falcons have to be shooting it out for like 30 passes. Next game on the slate, Cowboys at home. Dak Prescott is gonna play, and they're taking on the Cowboys, who are coming off of a bye week right now.
Not the Cowboys versus the Cowboys.
But damn near. Oh, did I say it wrong?
Yes.
Oh, the Cowboys are at home versus the Lions.
Oh.
And Cowboys are favored by 6.5 points. The Dak is back. The run game has been working. Defense has been kind of looking good. How do you see this game, or how do you see it like just looking at it?
I think this is a good game for Dak to come back to. I think the timeline's working perfect in Jerry Jones's favor. Cooper Rush having a bad game last week against the Eagles. They need people probably counting them out again. They need a good bounce back game. And playing against the Lions, the team that lets up the most points in the entire league, this is a very good game. I think the Cowboys' their method of winning is that same one as all. Get the running backs involved, make that two-headed monster work. Don't let Dak have to leave the pocket too much because it's not the safest out there for him. Motherfucking protect your quarterback and let this defense eat. I think that's the big thing. If their defense can eat and show that like, oh yeah, we're still like we're that good defense against bad teams type shit. This game will not be close. But if this defense is kind of just laying up points and letting the Lions feel to get into their rhythm, this might be like a 21, 26, 24 type of game.
I actually think there's gonna be like a shootout, just because I think even though the Lions have the worst rush defense, Cowboys got Dak back and they're gonna immediately go back to throwing the ball 70% of the time. Like they want to showcase Dak again. And the Lions have a bad pass defense as well, so it is exploitable. But the only thing that makes me think this game is gonna be kind of close is the Lions have a really good offensive line when it comes down to like rankings and everything. They actually give Goff a lot of time. And the Cowboys, like their D line didn't look too good against the Eagles' offensive line. And the line, I'm not like the Lions have actually a really good offensive line. Whatever Goff does with it, it's on him. But I just don't expect the same amount of pressure that we see as always. So that's why I think it kind of be close. But I'm right. Like Dak, I think it's gonna be a shootout, and I'm going with Dak's gun over Jared Goff's gun any day of the week.
I respect it. I like the Cowboys defense too much for it to be a shootout. That's why I think it'd be like a close offensive struggle type of game. Like this team make a move. Maybe this team forces a turnover, or this team got stopped 2 drives, maybe not 3 and outs, but they're just 2 short 5-play drives. Like that's what I see coming out of this game. I don't see just because of the Cowboys defense. So I also have the Cowboys, but I'm taking the Cowboys defense. I'm taking their defense over their offense.
No, and the Cowboys' pass defense is top 4 in the NFL, only letting up 183 yards over the air. So that's why I'm taking that boy Dak's gun any day of the week. Next game, the Titans are at home, division rival. The Colts are in town. Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines are expected to play, so we'll get them boys back. And let me see, because I know there's some more injuries. I know they're back. Colts. Oh, Darius Leonard, Shaquille Leonard is out again. So all pro top linebackers are not going to play again. So that's something to keep an eye on.
And they've only played in 1 game this season. So I feel like we're at the point now you kind of like, hey, bro, I'm starting. I'm a starter now. I don't know what the fuck you got going on.
So this Titans defense is a tale of 2 teams. Rush defense, they're ranked like I think 6th in rush defense, only letting up 103 yards. And that's why Jonathan Taylor had like 20 carries for fucking like 40 yards last game. They held him good. But their pass defense is atrocious. They're the worst pass defense in NFL. 287 yards per game. I'm not a Matt Ryan advocate, but he did kind of shut me up last week. And he is like 2nd in the league in passing yards. And for that reason, I'm taking the Colts as the away team. I'm not big. They're an underdog. I think these games are going to be close. I think the Titans won the first game, and I picked the Titans. And I think this is the division rivalry that kind of always goes back and forth every year. So I'm going to take the Colts to get the other one.
That's crazy as fuck. Because I felt like this game would have been a great help for your point that like the Colts are gonna finish 3rd in this division. Like I really felt like this game would have been like
no, that was the Titans was the one I said would finish 3rd.
Oh, you said the Titans?
Yeah, I was low on the Titans, and I said the Jaguars would be on top of them by the end of the year. So that helps me out in end of the year also.
So yeah, I'm taking the Colts too because like at least I didn't get burnt. I don't mind getting burnt by them this week. But I just think the Colts team is a better team. I don't trust this. I think the Titans have a good rush defense because they have to play against motherfucking Derrick Henry at practice. So
true.
But I feel like Jonathan Taylor coming back off an injury, I don't feel like he's gonna have a too crazy game. I'm not gonna load management him or anything. But if he only gets 15 attempts for like 60 yards, nobody's gonna trip. Maybe you do because you have
That'd
him
be
in
a
fantasy.
good game though for 60
Mhm.
yards. He's had like a 30-yard game, a 40-yard game. I think he's only hit like above 80 once all year. And that was against Houston, I think. And they're the worst rush defense.
So if you would have a game like that, I feel like nobody would be too upset, and that's what they need. As long as Matt Ryan can just hit his receivers, because he doesn't have many of them, but he's been figuring out a way to utilize what he got. So
Telling you, stop hating on Alec Pierce. I was telling you that early in the year also, bro. That rookie wide receiver that like he's looking good.
doesn't me continuing to sleep on him, but he has been he did look good last game, catching that game winning touchdown.
I do have a prop on this game before we move on. We're both on the Colts, and I'm taking Michael Pittman Jr. over 67.5 yards. By far, Matt Ryan's favorite target. And this Titans defense is the worst in the NFL. So I think he gets 67. I think he gets that. I was looking at the catches, but I was like, let me get the yards. Next game, the Packers going to Washington to play the Commanders, who will be starting Taylor Heineke, one of our favorite like quarterbacks from last year. You know, we love that guy.
Love me my Heineke.
Yeah, I don't have a Heineken for this episode, and for that reason, I'm going to motherfucking Packers.
I wonder why. Not literally. What it's tough. I would also pick in the Packers, but it's tough to like explain why. Because like I feel like the receivers are lower. Their offense around besides Aaron Rodgers and is lower because they haven't been able to get the run game involved. And their defense is going to make stops because I feel like this team is in that great on offense. But this team also knows each other with Taylor Heineke at quarterback already. So it's not like it would be a very similar to the Dak Prescott Cooper Rush situation. So why the fuck do you think the Packers are gonna win?
Honestly, I'm taking the Packers. One of the reasons is because this back-to-back losses for the Packers. I can't see Aaron Rodgers going 3 losses in a row. I don't think that's ever happened. I don't know the stat or anything, but that's probably not. Maybe only once ever. Like I don't think it's ever happened. But
I know.
yeah, Packers defense, even though they suck against the run, which I've been kind of saying for like 2-3 weeks now, like they look bad against the run. But the Commanders, I don't think they figured out the run game at all yet. Like the Brian Robinson didn't look good as his like a full starter. Antonio Gibson hasn't looked good at all. JD McKissick's just a pass catching back, and he doesn't get involved really. So I don't think the Washington will be able to exploit the weak run. And if they're gonna try and pass it, Packers, where do they rank? The best pass defense. 164 yards given up per game. That's their average right now. 164. That's some 1950s type shit. Like they're not letting up shit over the air. And for that reason, I do have this is one of my most prop bet games is Taylor Heineke over half interception. I think he gets an interception this game because they're not going to be winning. Heineke under 219.5 passing yards. He had a lot of games last year, 180, 190, 150. And with this Packers defense is only let up 164 against better opposition, that's going to go under. Then Aaron Jones over 21.5 receiving yards. Aaron Rodgers said we got to simplify this offense. One thing that I think that tells me is like, hey, this Washington defense sucks. Let's get Aaron Jones involved. He loves the pass catching. 21.5. And it's Scary Terry under 55.5 receiving yards. If Heineke's only throwing for like 180, I don't think it's coming from Scary Terry's deep threat with Jair Alexander on him. Like that 55.5 is going under. We might see some running backs catching the shit, tight ends catching some shit, but Heineke, I don't like. He's not an NFL starter for a reason. So those are my 4 props for this game, and I went heavy on that because I think this is a game where we see Packers maybe win like 27-14.
Sounds like you're gonna make a lot of money off this game. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, like Washington had Carson. They thought Carson was better than Taylor Heineke. That's all I need to know. It's better against man.
Damn, that's tragic.
Our next game on the list is the Panthers hosting the Buccaneers, Kev. Panthers, they looking atrocious. The Bucks look bad. Maybe this is time for them to look good. They're biggest favorite of the week, -13. Almost 2 whole touchdowns.
I don't know why these odd makers are giving the Bucks these big ass fucking spreads. Like they didn't lose that fat ass spread last week.
That's true. And they've lost straight up to the Steelers. But this Panthers team has looked god awful. You telling me you're like you think they're gonna keep it somewhat relevant? No
Nah,
CMC
I
anymore.
was gonna say no Christian McCaffrey. They might as well said, you know what? Fuck it. New coach. That's his problem. I'm not gonna say they pack your bag in because I feel like they'll get it done eventually. Maybe with Baker, maybe not. But there's just too many problems with that. You got quarterbacks, you got receivers arguing with coaches on the sideline.
They got him out of there though.
But like it just looks bad over there right now. It's really shitty. I don't see wins coming from this team in a while. And when it does come to wins, it's gonna be they gotta steal them. And I don't think this is one they can steal right now, especially after how much people have been on Brady's head this week in the media. Like even we was on that motherfucker's head, and like I hate the motherfucker now and be chewing him for real. So like I don't see this Panthers doing something that really surprises us. This is gonna be like a god awful game, probably 13-18, like Bucks. Shit's gonna be shitty.
Yeah, we're both on the Bucks. Enough said about that. I probably nobody's gonna even be watching this game, but you can make money on this. You can make money on this game. I got 2 prop bets. DJ Moore under 49.5 pass receiving yards. They're not throwing the ball. They're not the Bucks pass defense is like what top 7 in the league right now. They're not going to do shit with it. Under 40. He hasn't got over 50 yards, I think, any time this year. And then PJ Walker under 156 passing yards. They're not throwing. He looked. Yeah, he's starting again, and he looked terrible like last week. And like, if I can I'm gonna keep hammering that under.
Every time.
Next game on our slate, a lot closer game here, Kev. This one I can't wait to talk about. Really, the Jaguars are at home, hosting the 5-1 Giants.
Interesting. Say that again.
2-4 Jaguars at home, hosting the New York Giants. 5-1. Jaguars are favorited -3 on the points.
Wow, I didn't know the Jaguars are allowed to be favored
Against a 5, and there's no one's believing in the Giants. I want to see your take on this one.
Like I said, man, I'm not gonna make it sit down and be a Giants dick ride or anything like that. But the Giants are a real team. Like they beat the Packers, so they got some wins.
And Lamar
last week, and they've shown that they don't quit in these late game situations. Those 2 games in a row, they were down and had to come back, and they figured something out. Maybe if it was a late game heroics on defense, or if it's just Danny Dimes and Saquon saying, "Hey, we're gonna run this thing." But this Giants team and their defense is playing pretty good too. So this Giants team is showing their promise and they got fight. So the fact that the Jaguars, who I think probably have on paper a better team than them, are the favorites is insane, especially since these boys is 5-1. Everybody's really thinking they're frauds.
See, this line smells like a trap to me.
Really?
Everyone, I think, is gonna be betting the Giants because they're 5-1. The Giants are back, and I think they're an underdog. This just feels like everything in my guts. Why the fuck are they an underdog? And typically that's the trap. So I think I don't like it, but I'm gonna take the Jaguars here. And the only thing that can help me sleep at night is the Jaguars. Surprisingly, 3rd best rush defense in NFL. Only let up 89 yards per game. So if Barkley's all you got and they can shut that down, I think the odds makers know what they're doing here, and that's why I'm gonna take the Jags.
This game's gonna be interesting. What time is this game?
1:00.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be tracked in on this game because I want to see what happens.
Next game on the slate, last 1:00 game, Ravens at home versus division rival, the Cleveland Browns. Ravens are favored by 6.5 points right here. Big spread. Both teams coming off a loss. I know you're rocking with Lamar. I'm pretty sure you is.
You know I'm rocking with my dog, Lamar. because I need the price of that brick to keep going up, man. But I just think this game comes down to the Ravens defense, definitely, and
Yeah.
just can they score? Can they finish the game? Can they score late night? Can they score last? Can they score in the last couple of drives to put the game away? Can they kick a field goal? At least you got the best fucking kicker in the world.
Yeah, and I mean, no J.K. Dobbins. He's out. His ass is gonna go under surgery for the. He won't be back for like 6 weeks, so it might be Kenyon Drake all over again.
Yikes!
But Rashad Bateman, I believe, is back. So the number one target is back for the Ravens, other than Mark Andrews. So he have his deep threat. I mean, I'm gonna take the Ravens again, but this spread at 6.5, I do kind of like, just because I think the Browns got blown out last week, and I think the Browns this week, the Ravens don't have the best rush defense. And I just think that the Browns will be able to run the ball. And like Jacoby Brissett's 2 interceptions costed them last week. And like they're just gonna take the ball out of his hands. And I think they're like all week, we gotta give Nick Chubb 25 fucking carries. What the fuck are we doing?
No cap. I think if I'm the Ravens, it comes. I keep screaming it's gonna come down to the defense because if I'm the defensive coordinator for Ravens, I'm like looking like, yo, number one rushing rushing game in the league right now. Straight up. If we want to win this fucking game, we got to stop this run. So it comes up to y'all. Y'all got to play hard. Y'all got to play tough. And y'all got to really get off this bitch. Because if you're letting Nick Chubb break for these 18, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60-yard runs, y'all not winning. So you got to really hold it down. Because not only are they going to keep the game pushing, but they're going to control the time of possession. And when it comes in late in the game and we're trying to scramble around and do something, we're going to start looking a little stupid.
So my prop bet goes exactly into that. I got Nick Chubb over 72.5 yards.
Nice.
He's going to get 20 something carries. They need to give him the ball. 72 is way too low for like the top 3 rusher in NFL, top 5 rusher in NFL right now. Mari Cooper under 55.5 receiving yards. And that's because they're going to run the ball. Like they're going to be like, all right, Jacoby Brissett, we can't give you the ball 30 throws. So they're just not going to throw it enough for him to hit 55. And Amari Cooper on the Cowboys sucked at away games, always balled out at home games. It was crazy. It was crazy. This year on the Browns, 2 away games. Atlanta, 1 catch for 9 yards. Carolina, 3 catches for 17 yards.
Huh. Interesting.
So he's not an away guy. He doesn't do shit on away games. So that another reason why I'm taking his under and why I think the Ravens probably get the dub here.
I wasn't ready for that. I didn't know he'd really be disappearing on the way when they out of the city.
Yeah, only in front of his fans, he says.
Only in front of his fans.
And then I forgot to hit on this for the last game, but Travis Etienne, he's getting a lot more usage on the Jaguars. He's showing that he's a better back probably. And the Giants have shitty linebackers. So I think Etienne goes over 15.5 receiving yards. He's gone over like back-to-back games since he's been used. And all he needs is like 2 catches to go over that. So definitely will be used, I think. Next game, 4:05. A 4-2 New York Jets squad is going to Denver, Mile High, to play the Russell Wilson Broncos. Russ is dealing with the hamstring injury, but he probably is going to play because he got fucking Wolverine blood, he thinks. I'll go first. The Jets are a charade. They are fake. They're a great defense, a good to great defense, and a good run game. Zach Wilson is not that guy. I am big on that, and I stand on that. Elijah Moore, he wants out. He says, trade me now. He's not even going to play this week, the wide receiver. He was a first-round pick or second-round pick last year, a stud. Doesn't want to play there. Why? Because Zach Wilson's not that guy. He was much happier with fucking Joe Flacco. So Broncos defense is going to show up and beat the fuck out of this Jets team, I think. Like, I don't care who's at quarterback, how they've been looking for the Broncos. I'd fucking throw Drew Lock back in there. Go trade for him again. They're just gonna beat this charade of a team of the Jets, and when this defense shows them what like legitimate rush defense is, and Breece Hall's not breaking for like 40-yard runs against the Packers and shit, like we're gonna see that okay, this is the Jets that we know. I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets put up 7 points this week.
You think they got defense like that?
Broncos, the Broncos, like who's like Zach Wilson's gonna be put into. I think the Broncos might score a defensive touchdown this week. Like they might get a fumble recovery on a sack. They might get a pick six off of Zach Wilson throwing it up. And like you can only hide Zach Wilson for so much. And if they're loading the box to stop your run game, because that's all you got, and make Zach Wilson throw, a man who only played like 6 or 7 games last year and had 11 interceptions, yeah, he's gonna fuck it up.
Hey man, you gotta hit them with the meanest left right on this one. I think the Broncos. See, this is what I like about the I like the Jets defense. And definitely Robert Salala got them boys looking like a problem with Sauce Gardner leading that young defense. And that's kind of what happens when you have a bad team for that long. You get so many good picks, like something gets good eventually. So it's interesting though, because I don't see Russ losing to this team, and I think this is a trap game. Like if there's any trap games, this would be one.
Well,
I don't see Russ.
The Broncos are only there. It's a pick 'em.
Wow.
The Jets are as an away team. It's even. I believe it's back-to-back road games for the Jets. So this is their second road stop, and the Broncos are not even favored at home right now.
That's interesting because even at home, I don't really see them scoring more than 10. That's the thing. I don't see them scoring any points, but I do see the Jets figuring something out and getting some drives together. Damn, I might have to pick the Jets, which is crazy.
Who would have thought? It's
I don't think
2022.
I don't think I've ever done that before.
I don't think we. I know I definitely haven't in my life.
Yeah, let's take the. Oh man, I don't know. I like the Broncos though, but I think I'm gonna take the Jets just to be split with your ass. Why not?
All right. No, I like it. I will say this is the other game where I have a lot of prop bets. It's only 4. Zach Wilson under 185 passing yards. This Broncos defense is top tier. They're not going to allow him to throw the ball on them. They're only let up 184 yards per game. And Zach Wilson's getting an extra yard. Yeah, he's not good enough for that. Zach Wilson over a half interception. I think he throws an interception probably to Patrick Surtain. Brees Hall under 71.5 rushing yards. 71. That's more than what Nick Chubb's getting this week. Like, there's no way he's doing that against this Broncos defense.
For everything you just explained to me, makes me really just want to pick these fucking Broncos. But I think I'm gonna stick to the Jets. My guts, I don't know what my guts tell.
I will.
My guts.
I do have a Broncos under too. Cortland Sutton. They don't have a number yet because Russell Wilson's questionable. So they don't know who's quarterback, so they didn't give out his receiving yards total yet. But I'm taking the under because if it's in the 60s or Sauce Gardner is legit. So like yes, Patrick Surtain's a dog, but Sauce Gardner's a dog in his own right, and he's gonna be shadowing Cortland Sutton. So and Russ hasn't looked good, so like I don't think they're gonna get the ball to him. Jerry Jeudy might have a good day though.
That's interesting. So yeah, I'm gonna take my Jets though, and I'm gonna stick to it.
Stick to your gun. Stick to the gut. Another 4:05 kickoff. Texans are going to Las Vegas to play the Raiders.
Did the Texans have a bye last week?
Yes, they're coming off the bye.
Yeah. Them buys be crazy because you make me forget like the teams exist. I'd be like, damn, them niggas still play football.
And I think the Raiders are coming off a bye too. I could be wrong.
They are.
Okay, yeah. So and both teams have 1 win. This could potentially be another like draft. Whoever loses here might be just getting closer to a top 1 pick.
Mm-hmm. But nah, there's no way you can take anybody except the Raiders just because of how good they played in that game beforehand. Getting a week off, Josh Jacobs playing well. Yeah, there's no way you can't take the Raiders in this one because they're just a good team that's just a couple steps away. Just every week there's been like some bullshit that made them like they're just like 1 step away from being a good team, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, like and you said Josh Jacobs, and the first thing I thought of is Houston's the 3rd worst rush defense, letting up 165 yards.
Woo.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs is gonna fucking feast. And honestly, like the Raiders, they just gotta get their shit together. They might it's gonna be tough to sell on playoffs right now, but y'all gonna start stacking up wins. And I'm picking them also because They got some off-field issues going on. Devontae Adams, little legal shit going on now. He's gonna play, no worries about that. But this Raiders team only plays good when they got some off-field issues going on. They needed that for the right their year going on. They came into this year with a clean slate. They've been shitty.
This is this is me telling you that you might be the most ancient motherfucker I've ever met.
You need that little. You need a little drama to get y'all boys playing.
Them boys don't know how to move unless it's something messy.
Yeah, but we're both on them. Texans stink. Next game, Chargers are at home to play the Seattle Seahawks right now. This is Chargers are -5. They're the home favorite. I don't really know how to break this game down because honestly, like the Seahawks defense is pretty bad, but it's not like I think Austin Eckler might have a good game, but I don't know. I just feel like Seahawks like Tyreek Woodland has been a dog, 4 interceptions on the year already as a rookie, 2 fumble recoveries. Like he's been balling as a fucking rookie at corner. And Gino, this Chargers defense, like JC whatever Jackson got sat towards the end of that game last week because he was getting ate up. And this is your corner you just spend all that money on. Like I just don't know how to really look at this Charger. I don't know how to grade these teams right now.
That's crazy. I was about to say the same thing. I was about to say, well, the defense, motherfucking, they spent so much money on this defense, but nobody's noticed where the money went yet. So like, maybe with time, this defense meshes and they get figured stuff out. But so far, it's just they haven't looked great this season, and it's crazy because they spent a bag on them boys.
Yeah, and with the Chargers, I at least know that they're playing with like some passion. They're playing to show the world that like, yeah, Russell Wilson isn't why we were good, and they're like Geno Smith is a dog. Like they rally around Geno. I'm probably gonna lean towards the. I don't have many dogs on my card, so I'm probably gonna lean towards the Seahawks here. And I think this might be another shootout game. This might be like a 31-27 game.
Nah, the Seahawks definitely have been impressive all season, and they really haven't disappointed. You said the Falcons are the only undefeated team against the spread. The Seahawks are probably just one of the most consistent teams when it comes to fighting and to staying in it within the game. But I'm giving them all that respect, but I'm really taking the motherfucking Chargers because even though I don't trust his pass defense, especially against the Geno Smith who's been balling the last few weeks, I think Justin Herbert, he low-key leads the league in pass attempts.
I'm not shocked, especially going with 4 on 4th downs. Like, I don't think Eckler's had a 20 carry game all year.
Nah, I think Brandon Staley and Brandon Staley comes up with a game plan to keep Austin Eckler working and take a little bit of pressure off of Justin Herbert. So I have to take the Cardinals on this one. The Chargers.
I respect it. Next game, 425. This probably could have been a primetime game here. 49ers at home to take on the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes and company. This is the Kansas City's favored by a point. This is a pick 'em. 49ers are a home dog. 49ers defense, we've been saying probably is the best in the league. They have the second best pass defense, only allowing 168 yards. Whereas we all know Patrick Mahomes is on a fucking mission this year. So we like to see how like something's got to give on that.
Nah, that's interesting because this 49er team's coming off of that L. So
yeah, and Christian McCaffrey probably will suit up. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some plays for him.
I think it's gonna be a lot of bubble shit stuff out of the backfield. Nothing too crazy, and probably like some runs. But if they're smart, they're not gonna do too much with him just because of the high injury factor. And they literally got bro like yesterday. Like yesterday was his first time in a jersey. So, but this 49ers team is looking to bounce back. I feel like.
No, second best rush defense also only letting up 87 yards on the ground. Like they are as a unit, they're only letting up like 250 yards total for teams. Like that's just absolutely nuts.
You think them boys can figure out a way to score on this 49ers defense like the Falcons did last week?
I think they do score, but I just like Jimmy G, all the hate that he gets and everything. I saw some stat like off a loss, he's like 17-3 or some crazy shit. Like when he loses the next game, he usually wins almost every time. And that's because that's the 49ers. Like the 49ers don't usually lose a lot of games back to back. I'm riding the 49ers here as a home dog. I need to find more dogs. And I actually been like thinking about it. And as a home dog, I'm going there because Trent Williams is coming back. And this 49ers team hasn't looked the same without him. And now that he's back, I expect that, like, okay, this run game, it's already been killing, but we're gonna finally see it back at 100%. And then Jimmy G with Debo, Christian McCaffrey now. The Chiefs let up like an insane amount of they don't have like the worst pass defense, but they're like sixth worst pass defense. 266 yards over the air. So I just see that the 49ers are gonna win here, I think.
I was about to say, but I want to take the 49ers in this one, but the Falcons kind of exposed their ass last week. But the Chiefs are also coming off the loss 2-9. And that was a heartbreaker with their last interception.
To the Bills, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna take. So we've been going indifferent these last couple picks, so I keep it moving. So if you're taking the 49ers, I'm gonna take the Chiefs just off the face that like they want to keep their momentum going and really make something. And then because even though they lost in that Bills game, they look good still. So that was the biggest thing. If they just take 2 less interceptions, they probably win that game.
No, I agree. Next game on the slate are prime time, 8 o'clock Sunday night football. The Miami Dolphins at home to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pickett is expected to play for the Steelers, and Tua is expected to play with the Dolphins. All the Dolphin fans know, like without Tua, averaging 16 or 17 points per game, with Tua averaging 25. Like just all the numbers when Tua plays versus when he doesn't play, it's crazy. So like how I'm coming. I'm going big on the Dolphins here. We're favored by over a touchdown, -7.5. So even the better world is heavy on Tua's Dolphins to beat this Pickett Steelers. Prime time, I will point out, maybe it's a Brian Flores revenge game. Brian Flores is now the linebacker coach of the Steelers, and Brian Flores and Tua is a known they do not fuck with one another. But how do you feel? Are you riding my Dolphins with me prime time, or are you leaning into the Brian Flores revenge game angle?
I mean, I think their defense probably would have the nice. Are the players coming back on defense?
Minka will be back. No TJ still, but Minka will be back, and I think one of the corners. So they're more healthy than they were last year, so they are getting players back.
So I'm definitely respecting the Steelers team. I think this defense can show up, and Kenny Pickett's found ways to score touchdowns. I think he's better than Mac Jones already, but that's just me though. But I got the Dolphins by 100. But like the Steelers found a way. And Brian Flores could probably scheme something until you have to deal with Tyreek running the street, and then after that, it's a whole different vibe. Until probably is ready, hungry, waiting to show people like, yo, bro, this concussion shit was just a concussion real quick. I ate that shit. Now let's play.
No, and I'm gonna be on the lookout for 2 things. One is Brian Flores and gonna try and kill Tua. Does he not fuck with Tua that much? So we gotta look out for some bounty shit.
I'm fucking crying.
Oh, and the second thing is now Tua, since he's the face of concussion protocol, are we gonna get the flags on rough? Is he gonna get the Brady flags? Is he? If you hit my boy a little too rough, are we gonna get those flags every time on roughing the passer? Next game and our final game of the week, Kev. We made it all the way to Monday Night Football. It should be a quick one so that we could go into our locks and dogs for the week. Because honestly, I know we're both on the same side here. The Patriots are at home to take on the Chicago Bears.
Why do they keep getting fucking primetime games? Fuck.
Hey, I think this will be a high-scoring game for at least one team. And the same take I had for the Patriots versus the Browns, I'm reusing it. The Bears are good at one thing. When Bill Belichick goes against a team that's only good at one thing, he fucking tears them apart. He takes that away from them like it's your kid's favorite toy. They take that shit away, and now time to do something else. And then you're gonna make Justin Fields throw. Good fucking luck. And Patriots are favored by over a touchdown for a reason. I'm riding the Patriots heavy here. So yeah, I think Bill Belichick comes out big. And the Bears have like the second worst rush defense or fourth, line up 163 yards per game. This is Bill Belichick running the ball 40 times, win the game, and just destroy you on defense.
I'm just mad that they keep giving these motherfuckers prime time. I understand it's historic franchise and all that good stuff, but come on, give me something I want to watch.
Facts. And I will say, this easy prop bet money here. David Montgomery under 55.5 rushing yards. Patriots are going to take that run game away. He's not going to get anything like that. And Justin Fields over a half interception. He's going to be throwing the ball probably a lot because they're going to be down. And Justin Fields, with the two best corners in NFL right now, according to PFF, Jonathan Jones and Jack Jones, one of them is going to get an interception. And then Sunday night, I forgot to hit on. I got Waddle over 60.5 receiving yards. When Tua plays, he's gone over that every game.
I thought you said 16.5. I was going to say, duh.
I wish, bro. I would put the fucking house on 16 yards.
Nah, no cap. But now Monday, nobody wants to see that bullshit, so I'm definitely taking the Patriots on that.
All right. So then let's get into the locks and dogs of the week, Kev. Well, I'll keep the good mojo going. You've picked first, I think, the past few weeks, and every time you've been killing it on your locks and dogs, Kev, so I don't want to ruin it. You go first. What's your locks and your dog of the week?
So one lock, I definitely got the Cowboys over the Lions. I think that Cowboys defense is gonna look good against this Lions offense. Michael Parsons stays busy. Haven't got a Trayvon Diggs interception in a minute, so we definitely should be on the lookout for one of those. But yeah, this Cowboys team always looks good against bad teams. And then I think a very unsafe lock, but why not, is the Packers versus the Commanders. I think Taylor Heineke is not him. Motherfucking Aaron Rodgers wants to simplify the game and get a motherfucking dub after these two embarrassing losses. So I'm definitely taking them. And then my dog would be the Giants. I'm taking a trap game. I'm praying they don't play their trap card on me.
All right, no, it's not bad. That's a close game. I'm gonna co-sign the Packers. I got like the Taylor Heineke's not it. The Packers got the best pass defense, and I just don't think Brian Robinson's good enough to exploit their bad rush defense. And no way Aaron Rodgers loses 3 in a row.
Taylor Heineke is not 4PF.
No, he is not. He's not 4PF. Thank you, Kev. And then my other lock, a very close spread. I got the Broncos here. I think they're just way better. Their defense is going to put is going to make Zach Wilson throw the ball, and Zach Wilson is going to cost the game. And we see the Broncos win. I don't like even with Russell Wilson banged up or whatever the fuck they're saying nowadays. And then my dog, division rival. This game's always close. I feel like they always split it every year. I'm taking the Colts. They got a good defense, even without Darius Leonard. They're still a great defense, and the Titans got the worst pass defense. And I think Matt he's shown he can throw some this past week, so I think he's gonna be able to throw it. And we'll see the Colts win that game. Then let's see. And then the only thing we got left is the best bets. I'm changing it up this week. I'm not getting out 5 spreads. I'm not a big spread person, so I did find some that I really loved, and it's the Packers minus 4.5. This was already up to like 6 at one point. Now it's only 4.5. It might get even smaller to like 4 or 3.5. So we might want to wait a little bit, but I'm taking the Packers here. That defense is gonna make Heineke make mistakes. Packers are gonna score, make it simple. Aaron Jones is gonna have a great day, and that's the real weakness is rush, and they're not gonna be able to run the ball. Washington has not ran all year, so Packers minus 4.5. First one. Patriots minus 7.5. They're trying to scare you off this line by making it over a touchdown. Don't be afraid. We saw what they did to the Browns last week. This is a one-dimensional team. Bill Belichick will take that one dimension away, and now you're stuck in no man's land. And that's exactly what he's going to do. And Bears have one of the top 3 worst run defenses, and the Patriots and Zach or Mac, whoever's in, is going to look great as they run to victory.
I respect it.
Broncos -1. This is
co-signing. Really like this. Really like the Broncos pick. I don't trust it.
I might even wait because the Broncos are favored by almost a field goal, and now it's a pick 'em. And come game day, they might be an underdog. And if they're the underdog, I'm taking that plus money odds, and I'm gonna cash in because this Zach Wilson is gonna look bad this game. And they have a rush defense that's gonna hold that run game. And then what? Then we gotta see Zach Wilson throw it up, and then what? Patrick Surtain get interceptions. Like that's how I see this game going. And then if I to add 2 things to the best bets, just because I do like the number 5, I'm gonna go David Montgomery under 55.5 rushing yards. The Patriots is gonna shut that shit down. They're not gonna get that shit going. And then the only other one is Travis Etienne over 15.5 receiving yards. Giants have a bad linebacker core. They're gonna get that boy involved. He's been used a lot in the past 2 weeks. So that's my take on the 5 best bets of the week. I'm changing it up so we can start hitting some more. I'm trying to get y'all some money.
I respect it, man. But this is week 7, man. The NFL season is going by fast. Make sure you get some cash. Listen to that boy Paul. But to close it out for y'all boys, man, NFL week 7, this has been another prediction, another episode of Totally Blitz podcast. Make sure you stay tuned because we're going to have our recaps, and then our Thursday night football picks next time you see us, man. Make sure you're tapping into the Fight Club. The Friday Night Fight Club just dropped, and boy, it was a great weekend of fights. We got another great weekend of fights, and make sure you stay tuned, and make sure you tap into the live stream we got going on at 2 p.m. during the UFC 280 main card, man. My name is Lil Kev, a.k.a. Kev Waterboy Savoy. I'm in this bitch with Paul Pick'em when I'm concert. And if you didn't know, man, we don't mind telling you again that this has been an episode of the Totally Blitz. Yeah, bitch.
Passing out the medicines. We've been on that rock star regimen, knowing that I'm heaven sent, higher than I ever been. I got a problem with